What's going on, everybody? TripleCrown24 back today with a brand new series on the channel. It is the MVP Buyback Challenge. I am extremely excited to get started with this. There's been a few references I've made to it throughout my card show vlogs over the summer, and now the time has finally come to tell you all about what I have in store for buyback season. If you're not familiar with the MVP Buyback Program, I'll give you a quick overview of it. If you are familiar with it, perhaps there's a reminder or two here, but feel free to skip ahead to what I'm going to be doing with it if you're already familiar with the rules. Basically, what this is a program in its third year now where Topps will allow you to redeem base cards as well as the parallels from Topps Chrome and Topps Chrome Logo Fractor edition of the MVP winners in the American League and National League, which will most likely be Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, respectively. I say most likely because I am recording this the day before the MVPs get announced. When you see this video, you'll know who they are for sure. But it seems to be a foregone conclusion at this point that these two who had historic seasons will be the representatives and the two names that you'll be looking for in this year's buyback program. If you have base cards or parallels of either of these guys from Topps Chrome or Topps Chrome Logo Fractor, then you're in luck because you can participate too at any local participating hobby shop that you may have. There are some exceptions to that as well. We'll get into that in just a second. But how it works, you collect your cards that you might have that are eligible for the buyback program. You take them into your local participating hobby shop, and you can redeem it for store credit. Now, you may be wondering which cards are eligible. Is my shop participating in it? And thankfully, on Topps' website, they have a pretty good breakdown of it. If you go to the link in the description down below, you can follow along for yourself, or you can watch this video. But here are the cards that are eligible for the program. You can see that the store credit level starts at $20. If you have the base card from Topps Chrome of either MVP winner, or you have either the image variations, should the MVP winner have image variations, those are worth $20 each. And then from there, the price points go up based on what type of parallel you may have. If you're someone who opened Logo Fractor, any of the base Logo Fractors are going to be $40 store credit. In addition to that, you can see that some of the non-numbered parallels are also good for $40 store credit. Basically, how it works out is that a base or a base image is going to be $20. Any type of non-numbered refractor or image variation non-numbered refractor, $40. If you have a light board logo variation, that is the only non-numbered one that is worth $100 store credit. But outside of that, any card that is numbered above 100 will give you $100 store credit, and anything to 99 or less will give you $200 store credit. Now, they also have something that is a little new this year, and should Shohei Ohtani win the MVP award, which he most likely has at this point in time when you're seeing this, there are 2023 MVP buyback cards that have been reinserted into the 2024 Topps Chrome product, which are eligible. If you're looking for these cards, they will be numbered to 199, 150, 99, or 50. And the bounties on these become pretty large. For example, if you find a stamped 2023 Topps Chrome Ohtani MVP buyback card, it is $400. It goes up to $1,000 in store credit if you come across one of the negatives of Ohtani from 2023. Those will be numbered to 50. Keep in mind, these are only the ones that were bought back by Topps last year. If you happen to have some 2023 Topps Chrome Ohtanis laying around, those are not eligible for the buyback program this year. It has to be the ones that are already stamped by Topps. But you can go look in detail if you want to see where your card falls into the hierarchy here and how much store credit you will get for redeeming your card. Again, it's linked in the description down below, or feel free to pause this video and look throughout to see where your card may fall. It is sorted here by the rarity of the parallel. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, I've got my cards. I am ready to participate. How can I do so? There are several ways that you can do it. The easiest one is to go into your local participating hobby shop. Here you see this map with a lot of red drop pins on it. These are all of the participating hobby shops. Now, if you want to enter in your location, you can do so. Search on their website and find a shop that is near you that is participating. Chances are your local shop is participating, but there may be new shops that you find that you go into for the first time. I know that in the past 2 years of this program, using this tool has helped me find several new shops that were within my area or within a reasonable driving distance that I never knew of before. So this is a great way to find new shops, and maybe you'll find your new favorite shop out there. All of the shops have different policies in terms of how many buybacks they may accept at a time. It will just depend shop by shop. So make sure you ask your local shop owner slash general manager about any details regarding the program. They all should be well familiar with how the program works as well if they are participating in it. So feel free to direct any questions at them when you go into the shop. What can you redeem your store credit for? Well, you can redeem it on anything that is sold in the shop. If you need some supplies, go for some supplies. If you want some singles, pick up those singles. Of course, you can always buy more wax with it too. That was one of the biggest intentions of the Topps program, but they thankfully opened it up where you can use it however you want within the store. Wax, supplies, singles, it doesn't matter what you want. You will have your store credit based on how many buybacks you bring in. There are also mail-in partners. Now, I have never personally used this service before for any of these dealers because I have so many shops in my local area that accept it that I've never had to do this before. But if you are someone who is looking for participation in the program and you don't have a hobby shop near you that accepts the cards, you can participate by mailing in your cards via these three vendors, David Adams, Midwest Cards, or Steel City Collectibles, and you will be able to use your store credit through their online platforms. And that way you can cash in on your buybacks. Now, when does this program start? It starts shortly after the MVP are announced in both leagues. Typically, it's the day after, and it should be right now when you're watching this video on Friday, November 22nd. When does it end? This year, it's a little earlier. I believe in previous years, it ended in February or March. This year, it is January 30th. You don't have too much time to get your buybacks in, so make sure you get them cashed in early and take advantage of that potential store credit. That is the biggest pieces of emphasis that I can say for this challenge. Now, you might be wondering, why am I explaining all this? What is my goal with all this? Well, to give you an idea, I have a lot of buybacks ready to go. I will hop out of share screen for just a moment here and pull up. Here are all of my Aaron Judges. I have a pretty healthy stack of them. And here are all of my Shohei Ohtanis. I have quite a few more Ohtanis than I do Judge because, well, Ohtani, in my opinion, has a little safer chance of winning the National League MVP. But really, I wouldn't have put this much time and effort into getting all these cards, much less the funds it took to get all those cards, if I wasn't confident in the winner. Like I said, the actual odds of someone else winning the MVPs are very slim. I'll knock on wood as I say that, because when this video comes out, I might look pretty dumb if neither of those guys or one of those two didn't win, because I'm going to be left with a big stack of cards that are definitely not worth what I paid for them. But let's hope that that's not the case for my sake, right? Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my cards that are eligible for the MVP buyback throughout the next 2+ months to local participating hobby shops and cashing them in for store credit at those shops. Now, how do I use mine? Do I buy supplies? Do I buy wax? Do I buy singles? It is the lattermost category in which I redeem my cards for. How I usually treat it is like cash. Pretend that this is a $20 bill in your hand if you have this Aaron Judge base card towards the buyback program. And I'm going to buy cards as I normally would for my business. I'm going to go in, I'm going to see if there's something. And if I would buy it normally for whatever the full cash price would be on the card, then I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. The nice thing, though, is that I can use these buyback cards in place of cash. Why is that beneficial? Well, I have more in store credit than I spent on a lot of these cards. Not everybody has the luxury of having these cards available to them or having a hobby shop that participates in the program around them. And perhaps they don't want to cash in their store credit for more product. Perhaps they don't want to spend more money on sealed product by using their buyback cards, and therefore they're looking to just get some extra cash for them. What I will do is I will offer a price to buy their buyback cards from them, usually less than what the buyback value is. I don't really do it off of a certain percentage. I have kind of a target price in mind depending on the level of each card. But if I can acquire them for less than the buyback cost, and it's a decent gap between the cost and the credit, I will buy the cards up and then use them as store credit. So what I'll be doing is buying up a bunch of singles to sell, and we'll see how I'm able to do with this program. To give you an idea, throughout this series, what I'm going to be doing is showing you my total cost. Here is what I am starting with right now as of recording on this. You can see this is the total amount that I have spent on the MVP buyback cards leading up into the start of the program. It is $12.66. Obviously no sales yet since I haven't been able to spend any of these, but that will be coming soon. Also be tracking my inventory. I'll show you what I picked up and how much I paid for it, as well as how much store credit I have available. So as you can see right now, I have $1,740 available in store credit, assuming that these cards all qualify for the buyback program, and I'm not surprised by the result of the MVP winner. But if I'm not, then I have a pretty comfortable gap right now between my total cost and the available store credit I have to start out. Now, this won't be the end of it. This cost number will go up because I'm not stopping buying these buyback cards. I'll continue to buy them throughout the rest of the program to continue building upon this. There may also be times that when I buy these cards, there might have to be some additional cost added in. For example, if a card is $30 in a store and I am down to my last $20 in buyback credit, I will have to add $10 of my own to the cost since you are not able to get change on your buyback cards. That is something to keep in mind. If you have $20 in credit and you only want to buy one $10 card, you do not get $10 in change back. It has to be used in store. And of course, it's not like a gift card where you can have a balance on it. The cards must be cashed in all at once. Something to keep in mind if you are using your buyback cards at your local participating hobby shop. But there may also be times, considering that I'm buying these cards for my business, that the cards are used as part of a trade, or they are used as a part of a trade in cash. Therefore, the cards that I acquire will go into this program, this challenge, as well as any potential cash. So say that I was to add $50 cash in a trade with a card that I bought through the buyback program, that $50 would then be added to my cost. What are we trying to get out of this? Well, I'm going to show you how profitable the Topps MVP buyback program is for me and how I've been able to use it as a tool for my business over the last 2 years to redeem the cards for store credit and be able to purchase singles to continue funding my business. This is something that I thought would be an interesting little detour from my normal card show vlog videos or my analysis videos to show you a little bit more behind the scenes. Now, another part of this that I want to also get into is talking about some of the shops that I go to, as well as doing some interviews with the shop general managers and owners. A lot of them have talked about how the program benefits their stores, and I would love for you all to hear that firsthand as well, and perhaps give some plugs to some local hobby shops that I may venture to. I plan on doing a little bit of traveling. Am I going to go across the country with my buybacks? No, that's just not feasible. But I will be venturing outside of my little bubble into some new shops that I've never been to before, taking a few little road trips to some new places and meeting some new hobbyists along the way. This should be a really fun program. I hope that you enjoyed me laying the ground rules. Next time, we'll get into the action. I'll start buying some cards and we'll get this ball rolling. Thank you so much for checking it out. I can't wait to share more of this with you. Take care, stay safe, be kind.